Hello, everyone. Hello, hello, hello. How is everyone doing today? So do please, as always, let me know if the sound is okay or if everything is fine. Hopefully, it's all good. And I don't have my air conditioning on right now, but I will probably turn it on in a couple of minutes or something. But do let me know if the sound is all good. Yeah, so today we are going to continue the deconstruction series. So this is going to be the second stream that we're doing from the Zeiss project. As always, you can always go back and watch the old deconstructions where we've deconstructed the Homefront project, we've deconstructed the Heroes Arena project, we've deconstructed the Walking Dead project. Now we're currently doing the Zeiss project. We have a few other projects to go through. It's still going to take some time for me to finish deconstructing every single thing that I've done, or at least everything that I have permission to show, of course. As always, this stream is sponsored by Foundry. As you can see, it's pretty clear that it's sponsored. I even have a little badge that says "Ask me anything about Nuke." So if you do have questions, just let them know on the chat. I'll try my best to read them as best as I can. So I don't have Discord open, so in case I'm not sure if Sajal is here or moderator. If he's here, do let me know and I can open Discord, of course. I don't have it open at the moment. I think I have way too many windows already open here. But yeah, as always, this I've dropped the links on the chat, so I have the link for the giveaways we at the end of the stream. Just like I said last time, and if you've missed the stream from last week, no, 2 weeks ago, you can go and watch it. It's on YouTube on the live tab, and you can just watch it. There's chapters there. You can go through the chapters and really go through and skip all this conversation that I'm doing now. So that video is on my homepage. You can just go to my YouTube channel and you'll see it there on the live tab. I've left links for the giveaways. We're going to do the giveaway at the end. I'm going to do it like I did last time. This will be most likely a 1 hour stream. That's my objective, to make them shorter. Just because I become quite tired when I'm doing the streams, and this is the end of the week. I'm pretty tired already for the end of the week. So I'm going to try to, keep it to an hour, at least try to do it, at least an hour of compositing, and then the rest will be the giveaway. The giveaway is always could take more time or less time. And there's links there on the chat on both. Remember, I'm streaming from Twitch and on YouTube at the same time. I'm streaming on both places. Not that, the stream on Twitch is just an experiment. I'm just trying it out. I know the main location where people are watching is on YouTube, but I will continue to stream it on Twitch in case there are people that would like and prefer to watch it there. I've left the links. The links are for the giveaway of the Foundry. The Foundry has been so kind to give us a license every time we do a stream. So there's an indie license for free up to grabs for everyone. There's also a free Nuke course up for grabs as well. I know the links are already on the thing, but that's the QR code if you want to join the giveaway. For my Nuke course, that is the link. And also, or the QR code. You can use the QR code instead if you want. This is basically a free course. And if you're a student of mine and you already have my course, remember that I can give you my workshop, which is my second course. And if you have both my courses, as I done that last week, you can always, I will give you for free my new course that will be out next year about on-set supervision. So I can always give you access to that course in the future. So don't worry, even if you're a student, you can still join the giveaway. There's also, of course, the big giveaway today, which is the Foundry's giveaway. That is from our sponsor. So Foundry has been so kind to give us a Nuke Indie license for free to always give on all these streams. It's going to be for a 1 year license. This is worth £500. So I'm really happy, and I can't thank Foundry enough for being so kind of giving us this for free. So yeah, I guess at this time I will probably play back the Foundry commercial since they've been so kind to giving us this. It's of course, I should always like at least express my gratitude by playing their clip. So here's the commercial from the Foundry, the sponsor for today's stream. Thank you so much for having the patience to watch it, and I'll be right back. It's just 1 minute, and I'll be right back.
Foundry's Nuke is the industry standard tool for compositing in the film and TV industry. We've produced and curated all the essential resources for learning Nuke and preparing you for the profession, as well as recommendations for other training resources. You'll learn compositing fundamentals, rotoscoping, keying, tracking objects, color management, 3D compositing, and much more. Our objective is to empower artists with all the knowledge they need to push their skills to the next level. Jump in and start learning today.
Okay, I'm back. So apologies, I had to turn on my air conditioning. I hope it's not going to bother anyone. First of all, I just wanted to also, once again, thanks to Foundry for supporting the stream so much. People on the chat or saying, again, a lot of familiar faces on the chat. Thank you so much for being here and spending some time with me. A lot of people talking about AI. I've just recently made a little short video about AI. And someone is asking here, Resonance FX is asking me, have you seen Corridor's video on render passes? I have not. No, I didn't know Corridor Digital talked about render passes. I have multiple videos about render passes on my channel. So, is it good? Like, is that what you're trying to say? Is it a good video? I haven't really checked. I'll go and check it. Thank you so much for letting me know. Yeah, a lot of people here worried about AI. I'm definitely very worried about AI. I am, especially because of the troubling news with James Cameron. But I the same thing I said on my video. If you have the opportunity, go and watch it. It's only 2 minutes long. It's on my YouTube channel. It's a really short video about what I think about AI right now, and I think it's even, what, like, let me do this. I'll just play the video, because instead of me trying to explain it, might as well me just playing it. It's only 2 minutes long. Instead of me trying to rambling about AI here, I just wanted to, I'll just share this. This video was done because Saint Walker, which is a friend of mine, he's a teacher and a professional doing training, he asked me to do a statement about AI because he had a lot of students very worried about what was happening with AI, and so he asked me to make a 1 minute statement about why should students continue to learn visual effects. And so I didn't manage to do it in a minute. I had to. It took me 2 minutes to say it, but I'll play it now for you to just have an idea of what I have in mind when I'm talking about this topic. So I'll play it, and then we can discuss it later. Hi, my name is Hugo Deconstructs, and I'm a director and visual effects supervisor working professionally since 1999. I know that a lot of you are feeling nervous about the current explosion of AI, and I don't blame you. I'm also concerned about the future in creative industry, since certain companies seem to be a bit obsessed about replacing artists. But in my opinion, it's not that simple, and I think artists are not going anywhere. We've been in similar crosswords before, and we've always adapted and evolved. I'm old enough to have witnessed both the transition from film to digital, and also the shift from analog editing to digital editing on a computer. At that time, we also had an explosion of opinions about how cinema was going to die. But the reality was that the advancements in technology made our creative process better and not worse. Back in the early 2000s, it would have taken me weeks to edit a short music video. And now with digital editing, I can do it in days and sometimes even hours. My point is, AI could be used to help us. And the reality is that AI is not going anywhere. It is here to stay, and it will definitely disrupt the visual effects industry. It will fast-track pipelines, and the core skills that make a good artist will not change. We'll still need to know what a good image is and what a good edit is. The core artistic knowledge is more important than ever. My advice then to everyone is to be agnostic. Learn about lighting, composition, storytelling, and editing, and you will manage to use any software available at any time, regardless if it's traditional visual effects tools or machine learning or AI. Just remember that AI is just another tool. Try to ignore all these tech bros and AI evangelists. Ignore the doom and gloom, since most of them only exist to drive company valuation up and to get exit strategies. Don't believe the hype. Use responsible, ethical source AI. Never stop learning and make art. Don't stop. Remember, painters did not stop painting because of photography. They went on to create Impressionism and form the foundations of modern art. Be a revolutionary and not a reactionary. Anyway, that's just my humble opinion. See you on the next video. Yeah, so I couldn't really put it more succinctly what I say on the video. Obviously, I might be completely wrong with this. I've been wrong before. I just kind of feel that although, yes, there have been a lot of jobs being lost through AI, and it's been a lot of that happening lately, and it is pretty dark at the moment with the industry. I just wanted to make sure everyone remembers that this has happened multiple times, and eventually, although a lot of people would be using AI, and AI will definitely change the landscape of the visual effects industry forever, it doesn't mean that we will all be replaced. It only really means that, I've been on the fence, really, because for me, I don't feel like AI right now. And by the way, didn't mean to make this an AI chat. I think I'll make it brief because we are all here for the deconstruction, and if anything, I think that maybe I should return with a radio show like we did on my anniversary of my stream. Maybe I should do that. Maybe because on the radio show, it was great. We had really nice discussions, and people can call in, and we can talk more about this deeply. And that was the whole idea, behind that radio show. And I think it was so successful, in my view, that I feel there was so much engagement that I feel like I definitely should consider doing that as a common stream, so that we do it every 2 weeks or something, because there's so much to talk about. But I just want everyone to kind of realize that things are going to change forever and there's no way back. I'm not a fan of AI. I don't think anyone in this chat is. And the reason I'm not a fan is because the models and the way that AI was built was illegal. That's the problem I have with AI. It was using copyrighted material. It was not fair. It's not being fair on the artists that are being copied. But unfortunately, it's already happened. It's probably not going to go back. The genie is not going to come into the bottle again. I think, unfortunately, yes, it's illegal. Yes, it was illegal. Yes, it was made with malice, and it was made in purpose to destroy the creative process of the industry so that it could become cheaper. It was a profitability affair, but we can't really do anything about it yet. And I feel like we will eventually, if we just stay around and if we just keep our heads down and just work and become better artists and continue. I do feel that after all this noise and all the problems that are happening right now, eventually when the dust settles, the people that have more artistic background will eventually succeed better once more AI tools that, what we're missing right now is AI tools that are correct, that they are legal, AI tools that are basically based on your own input. So I imagine a future where you have an AI assistant and your AI is actually working with the data that you've provided yourself, or you provided with licensed data that is being paid to artists that were the foundation of that data. So in my view, in my future, I hope that we have space for legal, regulated, licensed AI, because it would help our industry for sure. It would make the work faster, and it would support us with all the nasty and slow things that sometimes we need to do, especially rotoscoping, and especially, trying to do editing and trying to do very mundane tasks that should really be automated, really, in reality. So I know it doesn't really give any solace to anyone because, of course, people are getting unemployed and people are losing their job. But it's just that my advice to everyone is to continue working in art and continue developing your skills as an artist. Like I said on the video, on a agnostic point of view, without really focusing on any tool really, and really becoming an artist, a master of lighting and composition and photography and the things that could still help you to decipher and to locate and to also perceive a correct image. Because as much as AI can produce images, if you don't know what a good image is, it doesn't matter what you've produced because you're just going to produce trash. And so if an artist knows about composition and good lighting and has a good base of photography, then that artist is going to be able to create images in AI and then choose which images are the correct ones and which images should be developed further, and maybe even develop them even further with more tools on top, like Photoshop and Nuke and any tool that you want to address that. So I can only really advise everyone to still keep an eye on these tools and keep experimenting with them. I don't think you should be using them in production yet. I think some of them are illegal, and some of them, there will be a lot of lawsuits involved with that. And so I think it's more an experimental phase. I always remember, I will never forget when I saw the extras of Jurassic Park on a Blu-ray, where you basically had Stan Winston's, company building all these props and puppets and making stop animation just like they did in RoboCop and other films, building complete stop animation versions of these dinosaurs for Jurassic Park. Famously, they even had full sequences already made in stop animation. And then there was a breakthrough that developed the ability for ILM to do full CG dinosaurs. And then, of course, all the work done by the stop animation studio and by their artists, their amazing artists, basically was put on the wayside because it wasn't good enough compared to the CG. And so we all know how the story ended. Jurassic Park came and won the Oscar and is known today because of its CG. Of course, it still has props and animatronics, but it does not have stop animation, just like RoboCop and other films had before. And if you look at those documentaries, you'll be even very sad when you look at Phil Tippett doing all these stop animations, some of the best work Phil Tippett has ever done in his life with Tippett Studios. And all of it was just went to the trash. None of it was used. And now lives as a historical thing in the Blu-ray documentary of Jurassic Park. And it's sad. It's sad to see that an entire industry died overnight, for all the puppeteers and all the animation people and all the stop motion animation. But if you look at it, unfortunately, there's always like people that lose their jobs when there's revolutions, even if it's not fair. The AI revolution is not being fair. It's not legal. It's been obtained with illegal data, and that's not cool. I hope there's consequences to that. I really do. Maybe they won't because, money talks and bullshit walks, as people usually say. But I just feel that what's happening right now reminds me of what happened with Phil Tippett, his studio, and the team behind him on Jurassic Park. And it is sad, but look at Phil Tippett. He's still around. He still makes films. He still animates things. He is still working. He's like 70 or something, and he's still working. He didn't stop working. He didn't give up. I don't think none of us should give up. We should continue and prove to everyone, to all these tech bros and to all these AI evangelists, that we are artists and we can do great work. And maybe the time will come that there will be a reckoning for all these companies for all the illegal processes that they've made to construct the AI tools. And then once regulation comes in, then we will have a brand new phase of new tools that will be built on top of regulated, licensed models. And once that happens, we will still be here as artists, knowing what we know, knowing about composition and lighting and photography, and doing our best work. So my advice, and I know it doesn't really help for a person that has been just fired, but just hang in there, maybe. And also consider that things are changing, like maybe rates will be lower and we'll all earn less money. Another really good example of what, I even a good example of this is also, I'll give you a really small example. Wedding photography. Wedding photography used to be a thing. I used to do wedding photography. Wedding filming. Used to be entire companies that only did wedding photography, wedding films, and wedding videos, and it was quite expensive to do that because it was high demand equipment. It was really high end equipment to do it, mini DV and VHS-C and Betamax and Betacam and all those cameras to do those kind of things. And then we started having camcorders and and handycams, and now we have phones. And so the idea of hiring someone to do a wedding video or a wedding photography session is quite only really suited for people that really are having disposable income, if you think about it, because there's a lot of other ways of doing it cheaper. And also, not to mention that the companies itself that used to do wedding had to drop their prices dramatically, and there's a lot more competition now. So a wedding filming could have costed, like thousands of dollars, and now it costs hundreds of dollars. And there's nothing you can do about it to change the fact that now there's more people doing it, so the price goes down. And so if you consider that, if AI is really going to help creative processes to make more faster 3D and faster visual effects, the only thing that's going to happen is that we're going to have more people working on this industry, and so the price will go down. I think people need to start realizing that the rates will go down, and we'll get less money. I think the time where people would get a shit ton of money per day to do VFX is really over, to be honest. I think the prices will become more normalized, like other jobs have normalized also their prices. And I think we need to get ready for that. And that means that we probably should consider doing other stuffs on the side as well, and do maybe other types of projects. Again, as I said on the beginning, I don't have all the answers, and I might be completely wrong. I'm just talking from someone, I'm 46. I've witnessed the revolution of animatronics to CG. I witnessed the revolution of film to video weight, and like Super 8 to video weight. I've witnessed the revolution of VHS to DVD. I witnessed the revolution of film 35mm to digital camera. I've witnessed the revolution of, using a flame on a private company, and now everyone has Nuke on their computer. I witnessed the revolution of editing bays with Avid, and now everyone uses DaVinci. All those things were witnessed for the last 20 years, and I am still around. All of us, a lot of us are still around. I just feel that people need to try to avoid the noise, and they need to try to disconnect a bit from there and try to search for new opportunities as well for themselves. There is a world where we don't have only film and TV. There's also corporate films. There's also corporate videos. There's YouTube videos. There is graphics that can be done. There's a lot of other things that can be achieved as well with the same knowledge we have, both in the film company and the TV companies, but also on the games companies as well. There's other things that can be achieved. And so I didn't mean to do this big, large conversation about this. I just felt that maybe it was a good idea because people were talking on the chat about it. And so I felt that it was a good place to do it. But I didn't mean to hijack the stream. We were supposed to do these constructions, and we're still doing. And I definitely think, if anything, this just made me think that maybe I need to do the radio show. So again, like I said on the video, my advice is to continue to create, be adaptability, adapt and check what's going on around you, on your surroundings, test new softwares, test new tech, try to research if that tech is being done legally or if it's being obtained, if there's any lawsuits against that technology. There is definitely a lot of AI and a lot of machine learning that is not like that. If you look at Copycat from the Foundry, It's a complete legal process. If you look at what Mocha and Bodies is doing as well, what DaVinci is doing as well, those companies are creating credible, legal AI tools for the creative industry. And so more will come as well. But I'm going to shut up now. And I think 3D Chef says something that I didn't mention, but I've mentioned this on a previous video. A video I've done years ago during the pandemic, which I did a video which was called Alternative Methods of Income in the Visual Effects Industry. And 3D Chef, which is chatting on Twitch, he says writing IP creation is the next step. And I definitely think he's absolutely right. That's what I've said on that video. You can find that video on my YouTube channel about alternative methods. And I do speak on that video that people should be used to creating their own art and their own thing, because that is the only way for you to actually also get some kind of money behind it. Anyway, there's a lot of people talking here. So I don't know if I'm gonna go through all of this, but let's see here. So what are people saying? Let's see here, and then I'll go back to the deconstruction. I do apologize that we've went off topic here. So the keyword is adapt, says Studio Divas, completely correct. Man says, I love using AI for cleanup. Photoshop generative fill ready speeds up my clean plates. Absolutely. The generative fill AI from Photoshop is supposedly done in a legal way. That's what Adobe says. We can of course debate if it's really or not, but for now it looks like it is. AI isn't even useful yet. It can never really compare results to a handmade approach outside a single image. It is true, Nub, but it will get there. And I think we all have to be conscious that there is no way this is going away. Like it's not going to go back. Like they're not going to cancel AI. That's never, unless there's like a huge lawsuit and then they all go out of business. But even if they go out of business, something else will come in. I think there's too much money in the game for it to ever go really away. So Roberto says, my strong opinion on AI, apart from the fact that it's based on stealing the work of artists to educate it, it is that it's a bubble that is going to burst. Absolutely, I agree with you, Robert. It will burst, and some companies will bankrupt, and other companies, a lot of people have become very rich because of the bubble and because of the investors, and a lot of it was only really to get investment, like not really do anything. A lot of companies are just trying to get money into the company. They're not really trying to achieve any revolution like they say they are. But although it's a bubble to burst, it is not going anywhere. And that's why I keep saying on that video that you all need to continue to learn tools. My advice is to continue to learn Nuke and to continue to learn Blender and to continue to learn Maya and DaVinci and Photoshop. All these tools are also having parts of it with AI and machine learning, because an artist, a skilled artist with some of these tools can do amazing work. A person that knows nothing about art or about image can't really achieve the same level that a person that is trained to do it can achieve it. That's the thing, That's the thing that people need to realize, really. People here on the chat saying, thanks for the encouraging words. Well, I keep saying I might be wrong. I've been wrong many times in my life, but I'm trying I'm basically trying to navigate all this noise. It's very noisy what's happening in the industry, and sometimes it's incredibly difficult to be sure of what's going to happen. Especially with social media, it's like amplifying everything, amplifying it to a point that it becomes almost impossible for us to know what's real and what's not real. And that's a problem, that's a real problem. My feeling is that because art usually comes from an emotional side and an emotional piece of the puzzle, usually films and TV and books are written from experiences. And so I still have a hope that the audience in general will not like it because it's not really connecting with anyone. That is why a lot of people love actors and love writers and love directors. They don't love them because of just the work they've made. They love the person itself as well. They you know, people like Tom Cruise, people like George Clooney, people like Sandra Bullock. They like these people not just because of the specific films they've made. Like that, they like them because of, you know, like Keanu Reeves. They like what they've done also outside films and how they help the community as well. And I don't know if this is even possible to create with AI tools. I don't believe it is, and I feel like that's the biggest misconception that is happening with these companies, which they're really failing to realize that art, like film, music, and television and cinema, really comes from the heart and not from just a monetary situation. And maybe there will be a split, you know, maybe we will have artistic productions like we've always had, and then we have the consumer fast food version of that. And the same way when McDonald's showed up, everyone was saying, oh, restaurants are dead. They're not. They're thriving. There's more restaurants than ever. And McDonald's still exists. And so some people choose to eat at McDonald's, and some people choose to go to a really fancy pizzeria. And so I think, you know, the same way you can go to Pizza Hut or you could go to an Italian pizzeria. The prices will be different, the quality will be different, and the expectation is also different. One is really fast, trash food. The other one is an exquisite experience that you drink with wine and you drink with some friends. So I just feel like there is also that side of things. Even when I was younger, we always had artistic films, and there was always David Lynch and David Cronenberg and this and that. We've always had that. And we also had trash. There was also trash movies and films that were just consumables, and people just watch them 1 hour and then forget about them. So yeah, I feel like it's well, anyway, fuck it. There's nothing I can really do anything about that. I can only, I'm not gonna, let's do this. Like, I promise to everyone here that I will bring back the people are complaining about the ads. I'm sorry about that. Like, I'm gonna try to switch them off, and I always have this problem now with my streams. I'll promise everyone that I will create a suitable slot for us to do the live shows with radio calls, so that people can call in and people can talk to me and we can discuss all of this. I think we should do that, and there's a lot to talk about, almost like a town hall. Apologies for the ads. I'm trying to like make them less on. YouTube has become a bit crazy lately, but remember that on YouTube you can always go back. The stream, you are allowed to go back on the stream if you need to listen to something else before. Anyway, I'm just gonna like try to. Yes, come on, let's deconstruct. Yes, we are. Let's do that. Let's do that. So, anyway, thank you so much for everyone listening. Apologies for that that conversation. It kind of came only because a lot of people were talking about AI on the chat, and so I felt like I should at least say something. I don't want to ignore the people that are here present. You know, I really want to make sure people have their voice and hear it. So, let's just go back into the deconstruction, and the deconstruction will start now. That's pretty much it. Okay, so let's just, I'm going to just, give me a second. I'm going to just like share my screen, and let's go for this. So, okay, so first off, I'm going to start real quick, just, you know, just really quickly. Just wanted to like, last week we went through this and we even opened the script, but we didn't go in deep with any of it. But I just wanted to like give a mention to everyone what this is coming from. So as you can see on what, like, this project was very different for me because for the first time I didn't do all the shots in Nuke, you know. So this first shot, for example, this is a composite from Nuke in EXR. But then as you can see here, most of these shots are MXF. They are the original raw files from the camera, and the only thing I ended up doing it was like actually grading inside DaVinci and keeping them raw. Now most of the shoot that we did in this project, I just want to like give everyone the roundup. This is the the file format we were using. We were using SVXOCNST from Sony. This was the latest Sony Cine Alta camera at the time that we used. It was actually barely new. It was an 8K sensor, so we shot in 25 frames per second. We shot it in 8K. And as I explained last week, I made the decision of keeping it in the raw format. And the reason I did that, the reason, I kept the resolution was because I wanted to fail-safe these files for my training and my courses. And so and also to test the waters, So I decided to comp into grade in 8K. And so there's a master of this project in 8K. And in fact, this one is not in 8K. I believe this one is in 4K, I think. But I do have time. Yeah, this is in 4K, this timeline. But the files themselves are in 8K, the raw files. And so when I conformed them to Nuke, I couldn't conform with Nuke Studio because Nuke Studio doesn't support this file format, unfortunately. So that was a shame. But if I go to my Finder here, you see these are the files. These are the Sony files, the MXF files, which are, to my knowledge, not supported in Nuke Studio. Maybe, well, at least last year they weren't. I'm not entirely sure if they run in Nuke Studio. Let's have a look. Like I can't remember top of my head if it runs or not. So let's have a quick look. I don't think so. I don't think it is running, but maybe I'm wrong. It's been a year, so maybe they've updated the codecs. Maybe it does work. So. Thanks so much for saying that, Elder. You said, Hugo, your course is the best. Thank you so much. Well, thank you so much for saying that. My course is not the best. Far from it, but it's an okay course. I like my course. I'm very proud of my course. And so I hope everyone that is taking my course is enjoying it as well. Did Nuke Studio open? I don't think it did. Did it? I don't think Nuke Studio opened. Okay, sorry. Need to press OK. Forgot to press OK there. So thank you so much for saying that. Studio Davis says, in 2 years, all major studios will promote the movies with no AI like they do last year. You are right. Like, there will be a badge of honor saying no AI was used on this film. I'm pretty sure that will happen. Okay, let's do the ultimate test. What happens if I drag a Sony Alta, Cinema Alta 8K file MXF into Nuke Studio? Does it read now? I don't think so. Didn't show up. Did it show up? No, it doesn't show up. I don't think it does. New sequence. Does it actually read? At least it didn't crash. Does it come? Yeah, you see? It doesn't really come through. It tries to do it, but then I don't know what happens after that. So it's giving me like some kind of show details. File could not be loaded. So yeah, it still can't support. It's been a year, but it still doesn't support the Cine Alta camera. I am sorry about that. So yeah, so that's another reason why I still need to do this in DaVinci. So yeah. Bardos asks me, why did you choose the Mac for work? I'm considering switching back to Windows. I chose the Mac to work because I really, really hate Windows. And when I was working in offices, at the mill, and at Nexus, on other companies, I used Linux. That was it. I used Linux for every company that I worked for professionally. It was Linux that we've used. And so with that in mind, that's why I switched to Mac, because it's very similar to Linux. And it's mostly not because of compositing, it's mostly because of editing. I've always been an editor. And so for a long, long time, Final Cut was the industry standard for editing. And so I used Final Cut 4, Final Cut 5, Final Cut 6, Final Cut 7, and then Final Cut X. And now I'm using DaVinci, of course. But the Mac has always been a lot better with handling video files, especially ProReses and especially all the video files that comes to it. It's also very good at playing back to the images like footage. And so right now with my Mac Pro, which is already 5 years old, I can still play 8K clips. In fact, I can play it. You see, that's an 8K clip playing. in real time. And so it's very hard for a Windows machine to do that because it's really it doesn't have as much support as a Mac has, with all the codecs and all the acceleration cards to do 2D acceleration. Like, for example, I have a card in my Mac Pro called an Afterburner, which is accelerating ProRes footage. And so that card alone is only for ProRes, nothing else. So that is why I use a Mac. Not really because I don't like Windows, but if I could, I would use Linux. But if I would use Linux, it would be a lot trickier for my editorial side when I work in Linux. So that's really it. Did I consider Fusion? Pascal is asking me. Yeah, I mean, I did. I've used Fusion before Nuke. Before, like, I've been using Nuke now since 2005. So it's been, fuck me, it's been 19 years since I used. It's gonna be 19. Jesus Christ, it's gonna be 20 years next year. So it's been 19 years since I've used Nuke. And before I used Nuke, I used to use Fusion. And before that, I used to use Shake. So I did Shake. I did After Effects, and then I did Shake, and then I did Fusion for a bit, and then I changed to Nuke. I have not went back to Fusion ever since, mainly because I don't feel like it has the same ease with the multipass compositing, the AOVs. I just feel that they are not as... you don't have access to all the UVs automatically on the stream. You have to push them one by one, and I don't really like that at all. Yeah. So yeah, I'm sure that Windows is fine for Nuke. I just don't feel like Windows is an appropriate software for me to run edits. And also, it's very unstable. I don't like the fact that they're always updating it, and always, like, I have to put drivers and install things. And I just prefer the ease of a Mac, because a Mac Pro, there's only one Mac Pro, and so it's a lot easier to find answers with technical issues and technical problems. There isn't infinite permutations of a Windows machine. Like, a Windows machine can have any motherboard, it can have any CPU, it can have any RAM, and that becomes really difficult for you to pinpoint a problem if you have an issue. Whenever I have a problem on a Mac Pro, I can very fastly find it, because there is only a very few permutations of this machine. That is why. So yeah, so I just wanted to let you know that the footage is raw 8K, and now in some shots it wasn't 8K, especially the shots outside where we had we had an attachment to the camera to make like this shot here to make handheld, and so because we were on a Steadicam, we had to use 6K. So this is now 6K, because that is the other Cine Alta. It's the Cine Alta, the same one that they used on Top Gun, which is the one that has the sensor with a big ass cable going into the camera. So that's the Cine Alta we used for this project. So yeah. Okay, so let's I'm gonna just really quickly start. So that is it. So I'm gonna pump in the comp here, and let's start with a part of the comp. We've been going for a long time. I do apologize for that. I still want to dedicate an hour for the deconstruction. I do apologize to spend like at least 20 to 30 minutes just talking about AI, which means we'll do a break this time, because last time we didn't do a break. So I will do a break. We've been on for 45 minutes or 50 minutes or so. So I'll do a break in a minute, in like 10 minutes or so, and then we will go back and continue with the deconstruction, so I can stretch my legs as well. Hugo, your mic is low. Okay. Yeah, my mic is low. Okay. Is it low? Is it better now? Is it very low? Like, people are saying that my mic is fine, is low. Okay, I feel the same. Okay. I can pump it up. I just don't want people to hear me breathing. Is it better now? Like, you can hear me a bit better? I think you can hear the air conditioning, so I do apologize for that. Is it better now? Don't forget that if I just do this, it's much lower. So the microphone is really sensitive. So I just have to have it really close to my mouth. A little Portuguese accent. Of course it's a Portuguese accent. I'm Portuguese. What were you expecting? You thought I was what, American? I'm Portuguese. Okay, so this project, the shot we're going to go through, remember there's like 5 or 6 shots, but this is the first shot we're going to go through. And we talked about it last week, which was this shot here. So that's the shot we're going to go through. So breakdowns. That's the shot we're doing today. The main shot of the project, which was CG done by Martin Mayer, and then Bjorn and me comped this thing. So yeah, let's go through this really quickly so that I can explain what happens here. So there are 3 main scripts that we did for this project. So we have a matte script, which is where we did all the keying and roto. Not me, Bjorn did that, but Bjorn mostly did the matte and paint and cleanup. And then the compositing script, which is the main script, and then we had a cleanup script. And so the reason why we split the scripts is this is a very common practice for me, is because this way we can both be working on the same project. And I do like to do pre-rendering and pre-comping. I like that. It's a lot better to handle that way. So yeah, I just noticed that. Oh, okay. One second. Okay. Okay. So, yeah. Okay. So let's start with, well, it doesn't really matter where we start. We're going to go through all of it. But let's start with the cleanup. Why not? The cleanup, which looks like this. White gray shirt outside. Accident or plan? What are you talking about? You're talking about... did I close it? I think I closed it. Just a second. You're talking about... What about... You were talking about the clothing that he's wearing? White gray outside? No, this was not an accent. We had... we had this. I directed this project, and we had where's the video? The final film. So if I go to the credits here, let's see here. Top of my head, I can't remember the name. But we had Renata Barankova. She was the stylish and wardrobe artist on this project, and so I sit down a lot with Renata at that time, and we chose all the clothing for all the shots. So she brought a lot of examples, and then we picked the best suited colors for certain shots for it to kind of like coincide with certain plates. And so it is not an accident. It's kind of on purpose. And if you notice, crucially, he's always wearing things that kind of combine with the background. If you look here, he's wearing something that really goes really well with the background. And then in here, he's still with the same clothing, of course. Then in here, this also combines really well. And then I think it changes when when we have the multiverse here. If you notice really quickly here, shot by shot, this one, again, really focused on matching the background of the kitchen. Then we had this one, which is also really focused on matching and complementing the background as well. This one as well. So these are all the clothing we had, and we tried our best to make a nice twist on how the colors would react to the backgrounds. So it's definitely not an accident. This was the work Renata did, and then I picked as well. And of course, it's mostly her. She did an amazing job on trying to pick the colors for everything. And I think she did a great job. I really like the colors that that Frederick is using on this film. And I do like the way it blends with the whole thing. So I'm very happy with this commercial. Very, very happy. Yes, custom design. Absolutely. Renata did a great job there. Okay, going back here to the script. I'm going to just switch off my air conditioning because I'm getting a bit cold. Okay. Hey, Sajel, how you doing, man? Welcome, my friend. Welcome. Let's. Is that it's a trap? It's a trap. It's a trap. Asks, hey Hugo, last time you spoke about a Y ramp and a Z ramp AOV or something like that. Where can I find info about that? I think you said you talked about it before. Yes, I've talked about this thing on almost every deconstruction. There isn't really any info. We did it custom made. It was custom made really at the time. The way you have to do this, like, and I don't have the script open here, but if I open up the real script, the comp, I'm gonna just like go back to the cleanup in a second. We have 3 scripts to go through, so it's gonna take a bit of time. Yeah. The NCAM is, Zeiss is continuing the NCAM system for sure. It's great. I think they're doing amazing work, Nikki, with Nikki on Twitch is asking about the NCAM. They're doing amazing work with that. Okay, so let's see here. Okay. The Z, where is it? It is, damn, so many warning signs. It's like, it's scary, so much warning signs. Okay, so the Z depth would be, let's see here, foreground, background. It would be here. So the depth themselves would be, where are they? I think they are in the main script. So that's the CG, and I think in here we have the Y ramp, and then we have the Z ramp. So the Z ramp, of course, if you look at red channel, green channel, blue channel, it's all the same. This is nothing more than a Z depth pass. So basically what you need to do, like the Z depth pass is anti-aliased, is not anti-aliased, which is good. It should not be anti-aliased. It should not be filtered. So you should still have a Z depth pass, which I do as well. If you go here to Z, it's somewhere. Where is it? Sorry. Where is it? Well, believe me, it's there somewhere. So we do have a ZDEP pass, which is not filtered. You see, this one is filtered. Then I've requested Martin to pick up and create a fake ZDEP pass so that it would be filtered with the same exact specifications and quality settings of the render of the main beauty. Reason for that is because then I can use this as a mask. So this is basically Martin, what he did at the time is he basically used the shader that has a ramp that goes all the way from the front of the camera all the way to the back of the camera. And so this ramp goes from the value of 1 on position 0 of the camera, and it goes all the way to 100 and something. I don't even imagine. It goes to black at the last object that exists in CG. And as you can see, it's including all the CG, even the water, everything, and it's all filtered. And so this becomes a mask for color correction. And this is what I use to do a fog, of course, inverted, of course. This is very helpful. So you can't do the fog with the normal ZDEP pass because the ZDEP pass would have rigged edges. It wouldn't be filtered. So that's why I always request my CG artists to do a specific ZDEP pass that is filtered as an extra, as a bonus. And so that's what this is. This is what it is. Okay, and then the other one, the Y ramp. This is something I've come up with years. Well, it wasn't me. It was Juan Brockhaus. Juan Brockhaus used to be the CG supervisor that used to work on my company, with me on my company. He's also used to be the head of CG at Prime Focus, and he also used to be head of compositing with me at the Mill. He's a very talented artist, and he came up with this thing when we did Homefront. And this is the same. It's a filtered render, but this is only living on the blue channel, on the red and the green channel, as you can see here. So this is the same exact process of having a completely filtered ramp as a shader, as a custom shader. This is on Redshift, by the way. And so this is a custom shader. And so basically, instead of being a ramp of 0 next to the camera all the way to, I don't know, 100 when it's the last objective CG, it's the other way around. It's basically a ramp that goes in Y, so it basically goes from the bottom to the top. And this is really cool because it allows you to make this. It allows you to make this really lingering fog. This is really fake, by the way. It's not going to the laws of physics or anything. This is just to make some kind of color correction. You know, so I think that's pretty much it. Yeah, so that's what we've done there. And so if you look through the CG here, I'll go through this in a second, but you see, if I go to the Y ramp, I've done some color correction to it. I think it's probably going to be that one. And then if I go to my beauty, you see, oh, sorry, I'm on black and white. Apologies for that. Didn't notice because we were watching a black and white image. So you see, this is what it's doing. So we have the raw CG. This is the raw, well, not raw CG. It's already been processed with some AOVs and some color correction and everything. And so we have the water and everything. And then as you can see, we have this is the grade of the Z ramp. So this is me color correcting the ramp, and then that's creating a fog distance. You see, like it gives me atmosphere. This is the best method of you, and this is why it needs to be filtered, you see, because it needs to match all the filtering of this CG. And so this fog just gives you scale, you know, like when you look at it, it just makes everything bigger. And then the same goes for, I have a second one as well, and then I have a Y ramp, which is on the bottom. You see that one here is only on the lower section. So it's not affecting the upper section, only affecting the lower section. So that's really what that is, pretty much on a nutshell. Anyway, there's a lot more to come. As I said, I'll promise. I know that this stream was only going to be an hour long, but I know we spent like half an hour talking about AI, and so I promise that we're still going to be at least an hour doing this. We're just going to do a break. I need to stretch my legs, and I'll be right back. Again, I would like to thank everyone watching. Like there's 65 people watching on YouTube, and there is 30 people watching on Twitch. So remember that on Twitch, if you want to support my channel, you can become a subscriber on Twitch for free. And then if you become a subscriber, you just need to link your Amazon account to Twitch. And then you can use Amazon Prime to subscribe to my channel. Then Amazon pays me a couple of bucks, but you don't have to pay anything. So consider supporting my channel, since I'm always going to stream on both sides. Even if you don't want to be on Twitch, you can just not be on Twitch and just link the subscription, you know. So we'll get back to this in a minute. I'm going to do the break. Let me just save. So let's get back into it. So I'll do a break, 10 minutes. It's always the same, always 10 minutes. Before I do the break, though, during the break, you're going to see the commercial from Foundry, which is the sponsors of this stream. And also you're going to see a commercial from the lovely book from my wife, Green Recipes for All, which I really recommend as a great Christmas gift. So you can find this book. This is, again, a labor of love that Anna has made with all the great food that she's made. She's a really wonderful cook. This took us years to make. Like, I helped her with the photos and the design as well. We did the photos together. And so if you want to support smaller content creators like her, she has a channel called Green Recipes for All, and she has this book as well. Support small creators. They need your help more than ever, especially with the doom and gloom of AI. And so if you like good food, you don't even need to be vegetarian or vegan. There's a lot of really cool recipes here. I'll leave it on the screen. There will be a commercial about it during the break. So that's the QR code if you are interested. I would really love if you could consider buying it. Also, like I said, it would make a beautiful Christmas gift if you want to try it. So I'll leave the link as well on the chat, and then I'll leave you with the commercial from the Foundry, and I'll leave you with the commercial from Anna's book as well. I'll be right back in exactly 10 minutes. I'll be back, and then we'll continue to deconstruct the cleanup and deconstruct the CG as well, and continue for maybe another half an hour, and then do the giveaway. We're not going to finish the deconstruction today, but I wasn't expecting, since it's 3 scripts. So yeah, so again, I'll be right back. Don't go anywhere. Exactly 10 minutes. I'll put a timer. Oh, I forgot to put up the videos. I need to like switch the DaVinci project. That's right. So I'll just switch this to the stream timeline, and don't worry, anyone is saying that they came just now, don't worry, I will be right back. So I'll put the video going, and I'll be right back. I'll see you in exactly 10 minutes.
Foundry's Nuke is the industry standard tool for compositing in the film and TV industry. We've produced and curated all the essential resources for learning Nuke and preparing you for the profession, as well as recommendations for other training resources. You'll learn compositing fundamentals, rotoscoping, keying, tracking objects, color management, 3D compositing, and much more. Our objective is to empower artists with all the knowledge they need to push their skills to the next level. Jump in and start learning today.
Hello everyone! I'm super excited to give you a glimpse of my first cookbook, Green Recipes for All, featuring over 50 dishes inspired by amazing Mediterranean foods. Inside you can find recipes made with a variety of fresh, healthy and versatile ingredients and popular plant-based products. These are great choices whether you already follow a plant-based diet or simply wish to cook a few weekly meat-free meals to reduce your overall meat consumption. In the book, you'll find a wide range of new and exclusive recipes, from soups and big salads to main courses and desserts, as well as some of the most popular recipes here on my channel, such as the perfectly cooked non-stick rice or the tabbouleh-style bulgur and mixed bean salad. Not forgetting a new version of the delicious tofu chocolate mousse. So, if you'd like to have a look at my book and try some of the recipes, just visit any Amazon marketplace and order a copy, which is available in hardcover, paperback or digital formats. Hope you enjoyed the book, have fun cooking, and see you next time.
What a beautiful place. But guess what? It's not real. You know, these days, nearly every production has some form of visual effects, and most of them need camera tracking. This is CinCraft Scenario. Easy, real-time camera tracking, anywhere, anytime. This will speed up your visual effects pipeline. This means no more tracking markers in your backgrounds, and less work with your lens distortion. So you can be creative and experiment. This device and its software do the magic. You can track indoors, outdoors, on a LED volume, on a green screen, on a film set, or even in the parking lot. We got you covered. No matter how many objects move in front of the camera. And tracking outside? Yes, you've guessed it. Our system goes the extra mile. It tracks natural markers to compute the camera's movement for you. Oh, hello. But how does the system track in an empty environment? Come on, check this out. Do you see those reflective markers on the floor? They're used for tracking setups like green screens. And this little camera tracks the reflective markers anywhere you put them. And you can even perform live pre-comp on set. Any scenario is a breeze with our system, including this LED volume. By the way, we also support frame remapping technology. While they switch lenses, hear me out. With Zeiss lenses, there is no lens calibration needed. The system is plug and play. And another cool feature is oh, well, that was a bit too fast. The tracking data can be recorded and easily handed over to the VFX studio. So we are really speeding things up here, don't we? Wow, that's amazing. We also need to speed things up because we're running out of time. So now it's your turn. Let your imagination run free.
Foundry's Nuke is the industry standard tool for compositing in the film and TV industry. We've produced and curated all the essential resources for learning Nuke and preparing you for the profession, as well as recommendations for other training resources. You'll learn compositing fundamentals, rotoscoping, keying, tracking objects, color management, 3D compositing, and much more. Our objective is to empower artists with all the knowledge they need to push their skills to the next level. Jump in and start learning today.
Okay, we are now back. Again, thank you so much for still sticking around after the break. And there's a lot of you watching, I can see. So thanks everyone on Twitch, which we have like 30 people or something. And then on YouTube, we have like 50 at some point. So thank you so much everyone on Twitch and also on YouTube as well. First of all, I would like to thank the Foundry for helping and supporting the channel. I can see the Foundry is on the chat. So hi Chrissy, how you doing? Hi, I can see I have my badge that you gave me. Look, it's here. This is the badge you gave me, so I'm using it. I always use it when I'm doing the stream. So thank you so much again for for the support you guys have been giving me for years now on the channel. People are really appreciative of it as well, and of course, goes without saying that we couldn't really do these streams without you. So thank you so much. And also, of course, the giveaway that you provide every 2 weeks here on the stream is much appreciated, and everyone is really happy to have the support from the Foundry as well. So thank you so much. So you're getting some love on Twitch as well, I can see now. Yeah. Thanks so much for saying that, Kirsty. Nelsing says Foundry giveaway link is saying you're creating too many entries. If you've already signed up once, I don't think you can sign up to more than one time. I don't believe so. So we're going to continue with the deconstruction. Again, don't forget that the giveaway for we're going to do it at the end of the stream. Don't forget that. Basically, I'll put it on the screen here as well. So that's the QR code. So you have the QR code, you have the link as well. I'll put the link on the chat again. It's also on the top of the chat if you want. So I'll put it on the chat of YouTube and also on the chat of Twitch as well. So don't forget that that's the giveaway we're going to have by the end of the stream. So that's the QR code, that's the link. Apologies, I was on top of the link. Apologies for that. So that's again coming from the Foundry. Do you have a Coke life where you are? Yes, I do. Look, I brought my green cola. I say this on every stream. Promise, I swear to God, I'm not sponsored by green cola. I just really like them, and I think it's great. It's really good cola. It's really tasty, and it also doesn't have any nasty things that breaks up your teeth. And so I'm gonna do my little moment of sound. This is so rewarding. It is so nice. Okay, so also, as usual, we also have a giveaway of my new course. So that's the QR code, and that's the link. We'll do both of the giveaways at the end of the stream, and that's it, really. So let's continue. What makes it green? I don't know. It's not green, by the way. I put it on the. I put it on a. I took it out of the can. It's actually not green. I also thought it was going to be green. It's not green. I need to contact them and tell them to make it green. That would be so much nicer. Thanks for the message, Gabriel. Yeah. That's. Okay. Christy said, this branding is similar to a version of Coke that was discontinued in the States that my spouse loves. Oh, really? So, maybe they're like this is a European brand. I'm not actually sure where. I know they have it on the UK, and there's a couple of countries in Europe that have this brand. The main thing with this brand is that they supposedly use organic only, and so it doesn't destroy the enamel in your teeth, and it's supposed to be much better for you. I take it on a grain of salt. I'm not sure if it's true or not. It might not be true. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Okay, so let's go back to the script that we were deconstructing. So I'll put my screen up here so that we can see it, and my little face on the corner there. Okay, so we had, just like we did before the break, we were going with, so I hope that helped everyone here with I have him compared when it's on UK next. Yeah, that's great. I'll bring you a can next time I'm with you. I'll bring you a can for you to taste it. It's really good. I really like it. I really need to contact them because I keep promoting their beverage on the stream, and I think it's a perfect opportunity because it's like green. Imagine putting a green screen behind it. It would be the perfect visual effects cola because it's called green cola instead of being green screen. So I really need to contact them. I need to do that. I always say this every week and I never do. So yeah, but yeah, again, Kirsty, thank you so much for being here and for supporting the stream like this. It's really, really means a lot to me for you guys to be here watching. Thank you so much. Okay, so going back to this, I hope this was clear about the Z ramp and the Y ramp according to the CG, and how I was implementing it into the fog of this script. Now we're really gonna go in through the. I think it would be probably better for to go to the cleanup script, because there's a couple of things here that I wanted to point out. Don't worry, Chrissy, it's fine. You didn't derail. A lot more has to happen for me to derail this. It's not a problem. And even if it gets derailed, I also have the perfect video whenever it gets derailed. Don't worry. I even have a video for that. I usually, when I have a derailing on my stream, or if there's a technical issue, I usually play this. That's what I usually play, because a lot of times our streams are this, and we already derailed it before. We started the stream, and we were supposed to be talking about. We were supposed to jump right ahead into this. We were supposed to jump right ahead with compositing, and a few people started talking about AI on the chat, and so I went on a rant about that. Not a rant; it was a soft rant. It wasn't a very big rant. That reminds me, I really wanted to let Studio know. I think it was Studio. What is the name? It's called Studio. Where are you? Can't reach it anymore. Studio Devis. So Studio Devis, never apologize for talking about that on the chat. I mean, I'm very happy that you asked the question about AI, and I'm very happy to have answered, and I'm sure other people also enjoyed it as well, the conversation. And I don't say things like I'm never going to do it again. No, please do. Please, this is an open forum. It's an open community. People should ask as many things as they want. And so, Studio, if you have other questions next time, just go for it. And I do promise that I will bring back the radio show like we did it on the anniversary. I think the radio show was really cool. I really enjoyed it. Really enjoyed talking with people. And I really think it's a really great place for people to have these kind of conversations, especially because of all the problems we're having in the industry right now. And so it could be a great place for us to talk about these things. Anyway, I'm going to shut up now and ask me things about Nuke. That's what's happening. So, okay, let's go for it. Have a great weekend as well, Kirsty. Okay. This script needed 3 main parts, and that's what I want to start discussing today. The main thing is really, of course, the CG. That's part number 1, the element number 1 that we used. This was Redshift, multipass, compositing, a bunch of passes. Part 2 was the footage itself. So we have, of course, the footage of, which is this, the plate. Which again, like I said, this specific plate is 6K. A lot of other plates are 8K. This was 6K, this one. And so the plate itself has a lot of issues in it, if you think about it, because it requires us to do quite massive amounts of cleanup. Because if you think about it, if I play it here, if I go to the breakdown here real quick, yeah, there's the original plate. So this is the original plate. I'm gonna just loop it here. And as you can see, there's quite a few problems. Obviously, it ends with the set, and that's supposed to be there because the gag of this film was that he switches and then everything appears, and so you see the crew. This is a fake cameraman, by the way. He's not the real cameraman. So you basically see the whole crew. That's the idea, to see the whole crew. But before we do that, before we even do that, we still need to rotoscope Frederick out of the plate, and we need to also clean up the floor. The reason we need to clean up the floor is because, as you can see, we have a huge boom mic going through the entire plate. So, and in fact, on some shots, it even crosses the hands of Frederick. I think when he jumps, yeah, I see, like for a couple of frames, it almost touches his hand. I think it actually touches. Yeah, there we go. It touches the hand. So we had to clean up, and of course, the best way to clean up, the best way to clean up about this would be a projection system, and that's what Bjorn did here, and that's what we also did on this shot. But obviously that has a lot of limitations because there's also the shadow of the person, which we want to keep as well. And so there's a lot of ways of doing it. And so the methodology that we went through would be this. This is the script. No, not that one. This is the script that we did for the cleanup. And ignore all of this crap. This is not my script, by the way. This is Bjorn's script. And so if you don't like it, go up to him and talk to him. He was here last week, 2 weeks ago. And so you can always complain to him. I'm not complaining. I think it's a great project, and it's his expression. Like people are, I'm happy for people to express themselves, and that's what happened here. And it's quite organized, but I think the roto script is a bit more confusing. And I'll open that one as well. Actually, I forgot to open that one. Let's open that one up. So the matte one would be this one, 14 versions. Okay. Any minute now. Nub saying, my guy gets derailed talking about getting derailed. Hugo is as Hugo does. Yes, it is my stream. It's called Hugo's Desk. I do whatever I want. It is my stream. But obviously I always listen to everyone, of course. So yeah, so this is the keying script. And so as you can see, it's still very organized. Ignore this part. This is just the CG pre-comp, but this is the main meat and potatoes of it, basically, which Bjorn has been doing here, where we have a core dispel, the hands, green screen, like the head, the shirt, the legs, some edge dispelling, and then we have some edge matting, trousers matting, head matting, leg matting, shoe matting, roto floor, and then of course we have the shadow as well somewhere here. I think the shadow is here. Yeah, that's the shadow section. So I'll go through that in a minute. But long story short, the whole objective of this is when you are on the comp side, we ended up having two different pre-comps. So pre-comp number one. So yeah, as I said, we have part one, which is this CG. Element number two would be the sky. So the sky, which is this one. This is an HDR, a free HDR I got on a really good website that makes free HDR available for productions everywhere. I cannot remember for the life of me. Can't remember the name of the website that does that. Am I gonna be lucky if I put like, let's see here. So if I put like the a new window here, and if I search with this name, will I find it? Maybe. Yeah, there you go. So that's Pulley Heaven. So that's the asset that I downloaded. As far as I know, you can download it and use it. Really hope so, unless I did something illegal here. But I believe that at least at the time I did this, they wrote that you could use it. There's also Patreon if you want to help and support. HDR Heaven, but I think they've changed. Did they change? Well, this was last year. I don't believe. I believe at the time when I did this that you could use it. Let's see here. Yeah, we can donate. Is it still the same thing? Public domain. Yeah, so it's still public domain. I think they still have the same thing. You can still use it for any purpose, including commercial work. That is still the case, so they haven't really changed that, as you can see here. You can use your assets for any purpose, including commercial work, and that's what I did here. They are great, so might as well just promote them. Why not? They're fantastic. The reason we did this, let's see here. So I'll put the link on the chat for everyone to check. That's the chat. So the reason why I did this is because I needed a really cool sky. Now, at the time, we did a full HDR. So Bjorn was on set. He did this lovely HDR for the CG. And so we used this HDR that was done with a 5D and an 8mm lens. We did this HDR at the time to do the reflections of the CG and the lighting of the CG. But I felt that this sky was not dramatic enough. And so I kind of felt that it would be nice if we could use something else. And so at the time, as a director, I kind of preferred to use, I think the one we used, we had 3 here. I brought in this one, I brought in this one, and I brought in this one. The one I eventually used was this one, I believe. No, it was, which one was it? Now I'm confused myself. Which one did I use? Yeah, this is the one. So it's not even that one. Which one is it? I don't even have it here. Did I took it out? No, that's the one. Yeah, sorry. So that's the one I ended up using. I think I did a combination with, yeah, that's right. If my memory is correct, this is the sky we ended up using. If I go through the versions of the script real quick here, I'm sorry, I know I'm a bit over the place today, but I'm trying my best. I'm trying my best. So if I go to versions here, you'll see what I mean. So at some point, I think the first sky, yeah, we started by having just a blue sky. And then at some point, we had, for a long, long time, we had this very cloudy sky, incredibly cloudy sky. Looked a bit fake, and that cloudy sky came from that HDR, this one here. So it came from that HDR. This was the HDR of that very cloudy sky. That's the HDR that we used. I ended up deciding not to have that at all, and we ended up having a much more subtle sky with some mountains. I kind of felt that this was less distracting, so that we would not have so much clouds and have a bit less and make it a bit more like a blue sky. And also that would make it... oh, did my stream go down? I have a feeling... can someone on the chat tell me if the stream went down? Because I don't have a preview here. Maybe it did went down. Stream is up? Okay, at least on Twitch it is up. But is it up... Is it up on YouTube? That's what I mean. Okay. I think it's back. Yeah, 3D is done in Maya. Yes, Matthias. This is done in Maya. But the asset is from Unreal. So we did 2 shots. We did one completely rendered in Maya Redshift. And then the other shot was done with Unreal with the same asset. Basically, I was experimenting with the fact that maybe Unreal could match Redshift. It did kind of match. I ended up not using on this shot. I used it on the other. But I just wanted to like check if Unreal was really production ready. And it is. It really is. As long as you have some good compositing skills behind it, you can kind of like get it to work. But yeah, as sorry about the long story, but I ended up using this because I thought that these guys were similar. Also, it's very important for you to have the sun in the same place. They're not exactly in the same place, but at least they're in the same direction. So that the sun would match the lighting direction and shadows direction that we would have on the script and on the composite. I think that was the whole idea. It gave... I prefer this because I felt that this gives me a better haziness and more depth into the scene, and it kind of complemented better the CG that we had. That's why I ended up doing this. Now, just a quick note, we decided to match this up, and so This was done using a sky dome. So basically, this was. Oh, wait a minute. What's missing here? I know. So this basically, I put it on a sphere, and we have the camera somewhere. Is the camera here? So I think the camera. Give me a second. This is the track that we got from Zeiss, and so I think the camera. Yeah, that's the camera, and so that's the track. And so if I play this back, this is the sky with that track. This is the walking path, and then the camera is moving with that sky. And so the reason we did that is because we wanted to match the HDR. And so we had the HDR. If I move it to this way, then you'll see what I mean. So yeah, so that's actually roughly the location where the shot was. I rotated it ever so slightly, but that was kind of like the location. As you can see here, that side of the screen, that hill and this tower of well, the green tent is not up anymore. But if you look at the plate that we had, which was, where is it? Did I close it? No, I didn't. So you see, I don't think we see the tower actually. But yeah, you see what I mean. Like that's the same side. That's what we did here. So that's that tree, which is that tree here. This is the ending of the hyperbole, and that's the ending of the hyperbole. So we matched the camera as much as we could with the HDR to try to get the HDR to light this correctly. It's not really perfect. I don't tend to do things that are really perfect, but it's as much as I could to make it, you know, to make it like that. Yeah, it is not rendered in Arnold. No, this is all rendered in Redshift. So Matthias is asking what the render is. This is all Redshift. I always use Redshift. That's what I've been doing for years now. I switched to Redshift as soon as I left the mill. So at the mill, this was already 10 years ago. At the mill, we only used Arnold, and then I just, as soon as I left, because I didn't have a farm, and so I just like kind of like started using Redshift right away. We started using Redshift when it wasn't even a thing. No one was using it, you know. So a bit off topic. Which 360 camera do you use, Insta or Theta? So this is not done with the 360 camera, this HDR. This HDR is done with a 5D 5DSR with an 8mm, and then I took 4 photos around so I can get maximum resolution out of HDR. But for me to do just reference photos, these days I use an Insta360. I use the Insta360 X4, not the Theta anymore. I used to have a Theta, but I kind of like gave up because their support is terrible. I just like couldn't bear it anymore. Yes, we used Redshift before it was cool. Yes. I still remember when we did Homefront, Redshift contacted us to do an article about it. And I was like, what? You want to do an article about this crap? Okay, fine. And I think it's because they were so small at the time. They didn't have really much. I don't think that article is up anymore. I don't think so. Let's just have a look here. So Redshift Homefront. Is it still up? Maybe it's still up. Probably not. I don't think it is up. I think there was a time that it was up, but it's not. It doesn't even show up anymore. So it's probably not up anymore. They stopped making the X4. What do you mean they stopped making the X4? I bought the X4 just like a couple of months ago. What do you mean they stopped using Insta 360 X4? What are you talking about? It's here for sale. Look, X4. That's the one I bought. Do you mean they stopped making Gabriel? You mean Gabriel is asking on Twitch? They stopped making the X3? Is that what you mean? The X3 is still for sale as well, I believe. I think so. Yeah, it's still here as well. You can still buy it. Keep in mind, for those of you that want to do it 360 through this, remember the X3 is the only one that makes bracketed. The X4 does not make bracketed. They've promised that they will bring that back, but it's not there. Unfortunately, they've removed the bracketed function in the X4. I've been on the forums trying to convince them to put it back. They did mention that they will bring it back, but I don't know when it's going to come back. I hope so. I really hope so. Yeah, but it is a huge bummer, Sajal, for sure. But they have told me that they will put it back. I have contacted them on support. They've answered that they will eventually put it back. You know, so maybe it will come soon. But I still prefer to use a 5DSR with 8mm lens. I still get a much better quality HDR from that. You know. Oh, you meant the 1SR. Okay, sorry. RS360. You meant this is out of commit. They're not doing this anymore. They're not doing this one anymore. Is that the one you're talking about? 1RS. Well, according to here, oh, you're talking about the 1-inch. Is that the one you're talking? Oh man, I shouldn't be wasting time with this. Is that the one you're talking about? From Leica, is that the one you're talking about? Because someone in here mentioned Zeiss, but I think they meant Leica. That's what you meant. I have not used this one. I'm sure it's good. I didn't buy it because it was too expensive. So yeah. Is that the one you're talking about, Gabriel? Okay, I see. I see what you mean. But I still think you can buy it. Let's have a look. Oh, okay, you're right. It's gone. Okay, that's not cool. Really? Why? Why not? Man, why would they stop making this? This is a really nice... Anyway, never mind. Let's get back to the script. So, to cut the story short, okay. I'm sorry, guys. I'm all over the place today. I'm trying my best, okay? So, remember, trying my best. I'm trying my best. Hugo's desk, a garbage truck on fire. Trying my best. Hey, this is free content, so, you know, if you want to complain, we do have a complaint book. You can always leave a complaint. So anyway, as I was saying, to make a story short, we've lined it up inside a sphere with the camera track that we accomplished, and then we lined up the new sky, which was this HDR, an 8K HDR, the original HDR that we've made on set. This is why I use a 5D. It was a 12K HDR, 12K by 6K. Now, the new one that we got from Heaven, it's 8K, which is more than enough what we were delivering anyway. The script itself is set to the raw resolution of the plate. This is a thing I've been doing a lot lately, which is to actually run it in 6K with the raw resolution. I've been doing that for a long, long time. I try my best to composite whatever someone gave me. And so unless there is a choice and someone actually tells me to reduce in downscales, if no one tells me to downscale, I'll leave the same resolution. And so I will deliver the same resolution. Having said that, the CG was not... The CG we made was not 6K. No fucking way I'm going to render 6K. So the CG itself is a lot less. And so we rendered in 3.5K. So this is exactly, as I believe, I think it's exactly twice as much. Let me try to remember now. It's been a year ago, so I find it sometimes hard to... I think it's basically... Yeah, we basically scaled it up. And at the time, on other productions, like the Sniper Elite 5 trailer I directed years ago, I don't know if you remember that trailer, but that trailer is the one I directed like 2 years ago, I think. That one, we also did the same. We rendered half res, and then we upscaled it using machine learning. I was going to do this for the machine learning for this shot, using Nuke's machine learning to upscale it. But then I kind of like didn't do it. I tried it and I ended up not doing it because the upscaling and blurriness of the upscale actually helped the composite, because the plate itself was a bit soft. So if you look at the original plate is... Where is the original plate? I have the original plate here somewhere. So you see, it's rather soft if you look at it. If I go through like the first frame, not only it's a handheld shot, so it's like moving all over the place, but although it's like 6K, it's quite soft, mainly because there's a lot of motion blur going on, and there's like a lot of depth of field, and it's basically like a shutter speed that is like prone to motion blur. And so by rendering it in 3K only and then upscaling it to 6K, I actually ended up having in just enough blurriness that I wanted to make it look even better. And so my experimentation at the time, which was to machine learn upscale with the upscaler from machine learning in Nuke 15, was a success, but it wasn't necessary. It was necessary for it was necessary for, apologies that if I've cursed, I'm sorry about that. It is necessary for the Sniper Elite trailer, because on the Sniper Elite trailer it's a full CG trailer, so it's like there's no other thing to hide. I'm not matching it to footage, and so the whole thing is full CG. And so on that one, upscaling it to at the time to 4K from 2.5K was absolutely necessary. In fact, at the time we did upscale it twice. I'll break down that in the next deconstructions, but the Sniper Elite, basically it's like 2.5K, and then we upscale it by twice on machine learning, and then it became 5K, and then we downscaled it to 4K to deliver the whole thing. So yeah, that's really it. So to answer your question, did you render 6K in Redshift? No, we did not. We rendered exactly half of the resolution. That was the idea on this specific project. Because on this project, it wouldn't be worth it for us to make 6K. So I advise everyone on this chat and on either on Twitch and on YouTube to always consider what you're delivering before you venture into doing like a huge resolution for rendering, because it could give you a lot of problems. Yeah, so Nub, yeah, you're right. I always work upscale and then downscale with compression. It really blends the CG VFX. Yeah, absolutely. This is one of the secrets of visual effects compositing. It's for people to render much lower resolutions. Hey, man, I still remember when I was younger, when HD showed up, and we would render 720p and then upscale it to HD, and no one would ever notice the difference. And actually, it helped the CG integration quite a lot. Okay, so going back to this, that was the second element, which was this this HDR, which is the same. Keep in mind the same light, or make sure when you line up HDRs that your horizon line is in roughly the same place, and also the light is in the same place, at least the same direction. That was the whole point. Then this was rendered with the vector blur. So basically, I have a scanline render here, and then the scanline render basically is outputting a vector pass, and then that vector pass is then processed into the vector blur, and then it produces, oh sorry, this is now the wrong input, it's that one, and then it produces this. So basically this is my final pre-comp of the actual render, like this is basically just the background. I don't need any of this on the bottom, I just need the top. So that's element number 2. Then element number 3 of this shot is, of course, the roto, the Frederick itself. So this is just Frederick. And so this is the full rotoscoping, which we'll go through the script as well, don't worry. But this is the full rotoscoping. Why wouldn't you just use the HDR from the set? Well, the HDR from the set was used for the CG. I didn't like the sky that they had. I have explained that already on the stream. I didn't really like the sky from the HDR, so I wanted a better sky. I wanted a cooler sky and a more foggy sky. And so because I decided to make a foggy CG piece, I decided to, because we had so much fog, I decided not to have a clean sky, because I needed like a lot of fog to blend that sky in to the CG, so that it all would match with, and the original HDR I had, first of all, the clouds sucked. I didn't really like the clouds that we had. And where is it? It's here somewhere. Yeah, and this is, yeah, well, I'll get back to this in a minute. And so you see the original one, I didn't like really the sky, the way the sun was here, the clouds. It didn't have any of a fog. It was a really sunny day, super contrasted. Didn't really felt like this would work. It worked for the lighting and reference and reflections, but didn't really feel like it would work for the sky that I wanted to put in. Okay, so going back to the third element that this project has, which is this roto in key. Now this is done on a separate comp as well. So basically this is a full roto job that was done by Bjorn, one of my artists that works with me always. He was a former student and now he's like a composer on my team. And so this of course has some cleanup in it as well. It has some bad edges as well because a lot of the edges were fixed in composite. So this was just a pre-render of the rotoscope that we would create for Frederick walking. Quite a tough roto because there's a lot of motion blur, a lot of movement, a lot of things going on. And so it's not a really simple rotoscoping thing happening. So yeah, so that would be it. So Jal is saying green suit is Hugo himself, and Vivek is asking, is that true? Yes, it is. It's me. It wasn't a hustle. It was in purpose. It was like supposed to be a Easter egg for me to be on the shot. That was why. We discussed all of that on the first stream. So if you guys want to check it out, on the first stream, we go through the photos on set, and we go through the beginnings of this project. I have a lot of photos on set from Anna and my wife. She was on set taking photos, and so we discussed that on the previous stream. We discussed the on-set supervision and also how we shot it and what equipment we had. I showed some photos on set and everything. So yeah, so you can just go back and watch part 1 of this stream. So this is deconstruction number 10. You can go and watch deconstruction number 9, and then you can watch all of that. So no, it wasn't used for lighting. No, so wannabe, I used it for lighting the other one, the real one, but then I made a new one just for the sky. So a bit of a hack job, but it's fine. Yeah, it's a cameo. Absolutely, it's a cameo. Gabriel should have made a hole on top of the suit so the hair would stick out. But then everyone knew it. Everyone would knew it was me. I couldn't do that because then it. But hey, to be honest, Gabriel, I wish that I knew that. I wish I would have remembered that. That would have been a cool thing to have my hair sticking out and having a green screen dude with the hair, which is always the hardest thing to keep. So I feel you, Gabriel. It would have been a nice idea. I wish I would have remembered that. Okay, so this is the roto that Bjorn did. Beautiful roto with a lot of cleanup and some leftover things, and shoe disappearing here and there, and then the floor as well that we comped into the CG. Now, this entire thing is one thing that comes from this script. No, that's the cleanup, not this script. It's this one. So that's the matte script. That's the script that has all the rotoscoping and cleanup in it. And then finally, that's one pass. And then there's the other pass, which is this one here. So this was also created for the project. And this is, of course, the shadow of Frederick. So this is a really rough shadow for the floor for us to apply the shadow. It's basically a really rough key and roto that was created to make the shadow on the floor. So yeah. Taymor says, why people aren't using After Effects Roto Brush for simple roto? Well, because it usually doesn't really give you a perfect job like we usually want in the industry. Normally, in the industry of visual effects, we used either, we use Mocha, or we use Silhouette, or we use Nuke for rotoscoping. It usually gives you really good results. But, the industry is always changing. So, of course, I haven't used After Effects. I haven't used After Effects for like a year, so maybe it has much better tools now. I can go and check it out. So thanks for the suggestion, of course. Vivek says, highly recommend this guide handbook by CG World Japan, capturing HDR using the Theta Z1. Oh, that's cool, man. Thank you so much for that. There's 8 articles in total. Yeah, I've sold my Theta Z1 because I really thought the Insta360 would be the way to go, but I'm a bit sad that they took out the bracketing, but it's still possible to do it with the Insta360. It's just a bit more inconvenient of the amount of work you have to do, you know, with it. So yeah. So Eric says we've actually had pretty good success with quick rotos with Fusion Magic Mask. Cool, man. I need to go and try that out. I definitely feel like Foundry is missing a trick here. I think they should really focus their attention on trying to get a more automated tool for rotoscoping. Definitely that would be quite nice. Okay, so that's another pass that we have here. And then also we also have a pass where we only have Frederick with no floor and no shadow, just him, with some treatment where we've fixed some of the edges and fixed some of the paint overs and as well. And I think that's it. I think that's all the passes we are using on the shot, I think. Oh, no, sorry. The CG is also, we render the pass of the foreground CG as well. And then there's also this shenanigan here. So this is basically the atmospheres that we created. Give it a second because this is going to be a bit heavy. So this is with the deep. That's why it's so heavy. So yeah, so I forgot the name. At the time on the beginning of the script, I was trying to remember the name of the camera. But yeah, the camera that we used was because someone was asking, was the Sony Venice. That was the camera we used. So this is the, where is that? So that's the particle systems that we used for, not a particle system, but like elements. This is basically Action VFX plates that we've used. I believe this one, let's see here. So is it here? I don't think you see it, but if I do that, you'll see it. You see, that's a particle system element from Action VFX. So that's like another element that we've had on that shot. Vivek says it gives you bracketed raw images. It's also an option to automate the images into an EXR, but the option doesn't use raw. Venice, not bad. Yeah, I really loved the Venice. It was great. It was a great camera. We used the latest Venice with 8K and also another Venice with 6K for this project. It was a great camera. I really enjoyed it. Ray did it says, like, if it was shot from any Russian studio, what with I working on, they would say you have 2 days and $100 budget. Oh my god. That is sad. Oh my god, $100 to do that thing. Jesus, that's not cool. Okay, let's double check here. Is Twitch down? I think Twitch is down. Is Twitch on? I hope so. It was going so well. And then it's down. No, I don't think it's down. No, I thought it was. Sorry, for a minute there, I thought it was down. It was down on my script, on my folder here, on my window here. It runs great. That's cool. Yeah, I mean, I think I've sorted the problem now. So now I have both of it. I think both of it is running on Twitch and also on YouTube. Both of them running at 50 frames per second with no glitch, no problem. Running at 50 because this is a Paul project, and so it's at 25, so I better put it at 50 so it plays back with a better quality. So yeah. Okay, anyway, this is one of the particle systems. Then I had not a particle system, it's just a plate. I had 2 of them, and then I think I used this one as well. This is just a plate of smoke. And then I have also, what I did here was I have the render. This is the deep render of the scene as well. And this was used to cut the particles, and so that they would be basically composited inside. Is it here, actually? Yeah, it's basically that's the CG, and that's like you see the particles would be in the same part of the CG, so they would be cut and so that they would show up. I'm not sure why it's giving me an error. Where is the error coming from? I'm not sure actually. Well, I have a pre-render of this anyway. This is all pre-rendered there. We'll go through this in a minute. Like I didn't mean to like deviate the conversation through here. I was just to do the story short. I know I'm a bit all over the place on the stream today. But yeah, CG. Just to recap, we had CG on this layer. We then had the sky was another pre-comp. And then, of course, like you saw, we had Frederick alone with roto and paint. Then we had a shadow as well of him. We had also just Frederick as well. We then had the foreground CG as well to add to this. And then last but not least, we had some atmospheres, which was some particles and some smoke that were composite using deep to cut it through. And then, of course, the transition itself, the transition which you find at the end, you see when he does this, and then it does this depth transition to reveal the footage. And so that was done with, like I explained last week, 2 weeks ago, with a machine learning depth pass that we created using Nuke 15 with machine learning. Yeah. Timor Clan asks me, Hugos, can you give me an idea of how much a studio pays a junior compositor in the UK and US? So a junior compositor, last time I've checked, it was, it really depends on the job you're doing. But I would say that you're probably earning maybe 75 to 100 pounds a day. If you're lucky. I think it would be like 75 pounds a day if you're doing it a daily rate, if it's like a short project. So 75 to 100 pounds. If you're lucky, maybe 125. That would be kind of like the price point. I'm talking about British pounds, not dollars. That would be the price point for a short project. Unfortunately, the prices have been coming down. So like you get ready for it to come down even further. So Sri Ram asks, any tips for upcoming visual effects supervisors? Well, Sri Ram, I'm actually currently making a course about visual effects supervisors. So all my advice for visual effects supervisors will be inside that course. So apologies that I couldn't help, but that's a really loaded question. There's so much I could answer, so we could be here all day to try to answer that. Okay, so now that we've gone through the script not in a lot of detail, but just like an overhaul view of the script, I want to start going through the script detail by detail. 125 is bottom rate for juniors. Okay, that's great to know. I haven't worked with a UK company in a while. When I was still in a lot of contact with UK companies, it was unfortunately still like 100, something like that. So I'm glad to see that it's a lot more. I'm glad to see that 125 because that's better. Okay, so let's start really talking through how this was done. So this is the cleanup script, which was created. The cleanup script really is divided in two main parts. We have the footage that comes in. That's the raw footage, and this is the EXR coming in. This is ACES, by the way. The whole project is in ACES. We're using basically ACOI ACES V1.3. That's matching with DaVinci as well. And then we have a Rexensor 9 on the display. Sorry, this, for some reason, it loaded off the Rexensor 9. I don't know why. This shouldn't have been an sRGB there. I'm not really sure why. That's a beautiful script. Oh, thank you so much for saying that. So that's mainly, we have three scripts here. So this is Bjorn's script with the cleanup. And then I have the main script. This is the main visual effects compositing script. And then we have the keying script, which is this. Bjorn was my student, so of course he comps pretty much like me, which is great, which is really much easier for me to open things. Okay, so the cleanup, not the cleanest thing we've ever done, but main process of doing any of it was basically going through these sections, as you can see here. And the sections are mainly here. You see, we have, not sure if this frame has something. It might not be. Give it a second. So before we even go here, let me just go through here. See if I can find it. So yeah, so let's just see the sections here. So these are all the sections of cleanup we did for the shot. And so you see it's done section by section. We have black there, and then we have that section, and then we have this section, which I think it's further along, then the bottom section, and then this section. And the reason we're splitting the sections up is mainly because it becomes more easy to handle cleanup by cleanup. And the cleanups are made in a very simple way. We basically have the footage, and then we, of course, undistort the footage. And then we, of course, scale it to the same resolution that was going to be for the delivery. And then basically this is then projected into a 3D card into the 3D system. And so this is what we ended up having on the projection system. It's not a really fixed plate, you know, it's like really a bit hacky and slashy, but at least it gives you more stabilization to clean up each of the sections. So then you can kind of like start cleaning up the ground. Now I need to find out the range. So this is from 1081 to 1141. So this would be the cleanup for, let's see here. So 1081. So this would be, just a second. 1081 would be this frame, and it would be until 1141. So just like making a cut here so that we can only see that section. So that's the cleanup of that section. So this would have been section by section to do the cleanup as a projection system. And so if you look at all of them here, they're all done the same way. So let me just open that up. Let's see the other one here. So that one, and this one, for example, is the main one, which creates the main floor, and that's from basically 70 frames that we have like a floor that has been created here for us to fill it up. Because obviously the whole thing about this is that we remember when I showed you the footage, like this is not a very easy cleanup to do, because we are basically trying to have him still be there with that floor, but we still need to replace the floor, and we still need to keep the shadow and still keep some of the floor. That's the main trick. It's like it's not as easy as it sounds. Like, so if you look here, this is basically the plate there, and then as it gets projected into the scene, where's the scan line here? Give it a second. You see, that's just the cleanup and the paint that was done by the projection. And so basically that's how we've kind of like did it with the frame hold and the projection system. Try to figure out exactly. There's a couple of things here that I need to ask Bjorn, actually, what's going on here. Not everything. I didn't do everything. He did some, I did other. I can't remember. It's been a year already, so so it's been a bit of a long time. Was the cleanup being done stabilized comps from Mocha? No, we didn't use Mocha for this. Or did we? Maybe we did. No, we did. Sorry. You're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. It was done with Mocha. Yes, absolutely. It was. Yes, you're right. And that's how it was actually achieved. Now it's all coming back to me now. I'm sorry about that. It's a bit like it's been a year, and obviously I didn't do all of it. Bjorn was also involved, and so I can't really top of my head remember every single thing that was done. Let's see here. So is there any way to generate depth from stereo out of any footage? Yes, there is. Like, there's a lot of tools from Ocula to do that as well. XH Hypees asks, Hugo, you're master. Whatever I try to learn Nuke, I become depressed because it's hard to learn. It nodes, it's so confusing, and then I'm an After Effects user, and I know the fundamentals of compositing. Well, thank you so much for saying that, but don't give up, my friend. Don't give up. Like, you know, if you know After Effects, I also was only an After Effects artist, and then I kind of managed to switch to Nuke. You know, like I'm sure that's possible. You know, I'm sure that's possible. Raid It says, wasn't it a bit easier? I rotoscoped the shadow of instead cleaning up the floor and making other on just a card and a texture. Probably it would have been easier, yes, but at the time Bjorn didn't do that. I'm sure he tried it. I'm sad he's not here. I wish that he was here on the stream because he could have maybe remind me of certain things that we did at the time there. Remember the scripts when you see the final script? The scripts have been over a lot of different iterations, and so I wouldn't be surprised if at some point he tried to roto it, but then he ended up not doing it, you know. So, yeah. Yeah, I would say that. But yeah, so to cut the story short, we've then pre-rendered every single bit of it, as you can see here, to clean up that floor so we can remove basically the guy with the big-ass sound boom. Section by section being comped in. There's a lot of roto and a lot of grading happening as well here. But as you can see here, then it gets all built up to be put here. Where is it? And that then gets outputted. So we started with this. We then output the cleanup of the floor there. That would be the idea. So the main focus of this is to remove this shadow, the big shadow of this guy trying to, like basically the sound dude, that we really had to have him there. We couldn't take him out because it was part of the gag that he would be there. And then basically this was rendered really. I mean, there's no way around this. This is the really only way that this could be done. I mean, there's other ways of doing it. If I was doing it myself now, I would probably have done a UV projection probably and painted like that. But I feel like, I don't know, I guess I need to ask Bjorn why he made this choice. It could be a good exercise. Maybe I should bring him into the script. Maybe I'll ask him. Maybe I'll ask him if he wants to come over to the next stream, and then he can explain his thought process through all of this. Because I can't remember exactly what we've discussed at the time. It was such a long time ago, and so many other projects happened in the meantime. You know, so my majority of my time was dedicated to the main script. That was what I was doing. This is my script, the main script with all the CG and all the pieces and bits and pieces from Bjorn that he did with the cleanup and the roto, and also like the extra stuff like the HDR that I brought in. So I can talk in a lot of detail about this script, but I'm now realizing that I'm seeing things here on this script that I can't remember anymore. So I think maybe I need to ask him what was his thought process through it, because I think that would be a good idea. I think he's not here. He was here last time on the last stream, so I'll ask him if he wants to join the next one. Nub says merge nodes sort of place layers on top of each other with the blend mode. Oh, he's explaining. He's trying to teach Nuke to an After Effects artist. That's nice of him. Thanks so much for doing that, Nub. So okay, so I'll do this, guys. Don't worry. Like I understand that this stream today was a little bit all over the place, but you know, can't be always perfect. Can't be always perfect. I usually am a bit better, but this time I wasn't. And so don't worry. I'll ask Bjorn if he wants to join me next time. I think even if he doesn't want to join me, maybe he can pre-record a few things and go through it and help me with this so that we can explain a bit better. I really want to get to the bottom of it. And and really try to understand exactly what happened here, so that we can then discuss in detail both the cleanup script and also the keying script. So I'll do that. And then, because the one I can do by myself with my eyes closed would be the compositing one, the main script where we put everything together. That I can speak in very detail because I know exactly every single node that I've used here, and it all come from it all came from what I was doing. So so I'll do that. I'll talk to him, see if he doesn't mind to join the stream. It would be nice if he could. If he doesn't want to join the stream, I can always like try to get some notes from him and try to like get some more ideas of what exactly was happening there. Anyway, I do apologize that I didn't have that ready before. I thought it was a bit more simple than it is. Like, not entirely sure exactly of certain things that were chosen to be done here. And I do realize that this is most likely coming from Mocha, because I know we used Mocha at the time. I don't have Mocha anymore, so I can't even open that script. Yeah. But, it is what it is. I think also, like, we've been on for quite a long time today. So I think I'm going to leave it for now. And then I'll come back and I'll try to bring in Bjorn and then try to deconstruct that better. If Bjorn can't come over the next time, I'll just focus on the main script, the one with all the CG and all the parts and pieces, and especially all the tweaks we did, the roto and the cleanup and the edges, all that cleanup that we did here, especially with the motion blur and everything. That I can talk very deeply because I did all that myself. So we'll do that. If he can't be here on the next stream, I'll do it myself. I'll just do this part and then get some notes from him and then deconstruct it that way. So please come back again, EACP. That's nice. Well, we are here. Well, don't worry. Like, we do these deconstructions every 2 weeks. So we'll be back in 2 weeks from now, basically, with more deconstructions. This is now the second deconstruction stream for this shot. In 2 weeks we'll be again. So this is what we do on Fridays. On Fridays, every 2 weeks, we do the deconstructions. You can always rewatch the part 1 and part 2, which has chapters and everything. So yeah, but it will be 2 whole weeks. Yes, I know. I should have done it. I should do every week, but I don't have the time to do it every week. You guys need to realize I have a job. And I have my time, and I don't think a lot of people realize the amount of effort that it does to make a stream. I don't think people realize that, and you really need to like think that I had, I had a really incredibly busy week, and I had a couple of hours last night to try to get this together on the middle of doing a quote for another job. So that's why I didn't go into deep into the scripts, because I didn't have the time to go them and really check them all one by one. And I thought it would have been like simpler to understand. And so that's why I'm not doing it every week, because it just takes a long time. That's like a huge effort, it's a huge, I do it. Remember that I also do the show reviews, so I'm actually literally doing it every week. So I do every 2 weeks I do the show reviews, and then every 2 weeks I do this one. So in a way I do 54 streams a year, because I'm always like bouncing from one to the other. But I get you. I wish I could do more. If I could get revenue from YouTube, proper revenue, which they pay really lousy, man, I would do it every day or every other day. I wouldn't mind doing it every day. Really, really wouldn't mind at all doing that. But it's just too much work. I can't, because it's not worth it in terms of monetary background. Like I can't live from this at all. It's, you guys don't realize, but a lot of people have a misconception of YouTube. I do have a sponsor, but even the sponsor, Foundry, I'm very grateful for their sponsorship, but it's not a lot of money. It's very little money, really. And so it's not even enough for me to just do this. And YouTube, forget about it. Like YouTube is disastrous now. It used to be a lot more, but now I would say like I'm getting maybe $50 from YouTube every month, which is like just not even worth it. And also like YouTube, and then Patreon has been a lot difficult as well. So Patreon is like only $100 or something. So it's not even very easy to kind of like maintain these streams. And I'll be honest, sometimes I feel like I have felt many times. I was telling this to Anna just before I started. Sometimes I really feel down about this, and I felt, is it even worth it me doing this? Like, should I even continue? I a lot of times have doubts in myself on that. Like, should I even continue doing these deconstructions? Is anyone even bothered? And do they even want to see it? And I do have a lot of doubt in terms of if I should continue it, if I shouldn't continue it, if I should stop this nonsense. Like, I don't know. I enjoy sharing information with people, and I try my best to share it and open up real production shots, and because I think that's the best way for people to learn, to see it real production stuff. But like I wish sometimes I would have like more strength to continue. Sometimes I feel like I'm not entirely sure if I should continue the streams or not, because it's a lot of work. And I'm not complaining. It's just like it's a lot of work. It's really a lot of work to maintain it and to prep for it and have everything ready and have the camera and have the lighting and look at the chat and have the settings all correct. And it takes me hours and hours and hours to just like do this. Well, thank you so much for all the kind words. I'm really grateful that people are happy and like they seem to be happy with the projection, with the deconstructions. I think people are happy with the showreel reviews as well. I think they enjoyed them. But it's I don't know. Maybe I'm just a bit down today. Apologies for that. That's it. It's Friday. It's the end of the week. I'm a bit down now. I feel a bit bad because I wish I got a bit lost with the script from Bjorn here, and I really wish I should have cleared it with him to see exactly what he did there. So I'm a bit down by that. I wish it would have been better, but I'm trying my best. I think next time I'll do the CG one, the main one, which is like the one that probably you're gonna get most of it anyway. That's the most crucial script that I have, and the script that brings you more information and more learning curve anyway. And I basically feel like I should try to be better at not starting to talk about AI like this, like we did on the beginning of the stream. We need to bring back the streams where I do the radio show. I think that would be worth it. But yeah, thank you so much for all the support. I really mean that. I really like everyone being so nice. Thank you so much for saying that, all of that. Thank you so much for all the kind words. People are really filling the chat with kind words. That's great. I can't thank you enough for that. Yeah, you're right, 3D Chef. You can pre-record stuff, but pre-recording stuff is even more problematic because I'm a bit of a perfectionist, so I would have felt that they would have to be even better, and then I would start editing them a lot, and that's the problem I'm having with the podcast, the VFX Notes podcast, which you probably noticed the podcast hasn't been out for like 2 months. It's because the podcast takes a long time to edit because I put all the footage and all the breakdowns, and it takes me like days to edit the podcast, days. And currently, we don't even have sponsors on the podcast anymore. We lost the sponsors that we had on the podcast. I don't blame them. Like, I know everyone is tightening their belt, but so the podcast is not on standby, but it's difficult for me to find the time to spend days and days and days editing the podcast without having any sponsor or anything or any kind of support, So it's a bit tricky. Definitely tricky. So, yeah. I think you guys are right. Like I do like the idea of chatting. I really enjoyed the AI chat that we had. It was a great chat that we had on the beginning of the stream, and I'll put chapters for people to watch it. I really thought it was a really mindful conversation, and I feel like I really need to bring back the radio show. I think a lot of people have a lot of things to say, and I think it would be nice for people to kind of like talk their heart out, and so we can talk this through with the community. You know, like I think that would be good. Oh, and thank you so much for saying that, Terry, and thank you so much, Alice, saying that, and thank you so much, Airback Rec and Nub. You guys are being very wonderful, and Sajal as well. You guys are being very, very nice. Thank you so much for saying that. And Nikki as well. Thank you so much, Nikki, for saying that. Thank you so much, Leonel, for saying that. And 3D Chef and friend Yoshi. You guys are the best. And thank you so much, Carlos, as well. You know, like, and also I go by Zach. Thank you so much for that. And also thank you so much, Vivek, for saying that. I'm sure and Sergio as well. Have a nice weekend as well, man. I'm sure I've missed someone. I do apologize if I missed someone, but thank you so much for saying that. Really appreciate it. Anyway, let's before I start having misty eyes, let's just like start doing the giveaway before we all start crying here. So giveaway, I'll start with the Nuke license. Remember that we are doing. If you didn't have the opportunity to sign up, that's the link. So this is the Foundry giving everyone a Nuke license. And yeah, that's the link. That's on the chat, both on Twitch and on YouTube. I'll give it another minute or so for you guys to sign up if you want to. This is a free license from the Foundry. £500 is worth. Yeah. Yeah, Nelson. Sometimes it's reality of production. I deal with scripts I don't totally fully understand. Yeah, you're right, Nelson. But I usually don't have this issue because I usually do all of them myself. I think this is the first time I've ever deconstructed things not done by me. So this is maybe my mistake because I usually only deconstruct the scripts I've done. And the main script is all mine. The roto script is not, and the cleanup is not. So I think that's my mistake. I should have just deconstructed the main script, which is that's what I always do on these streams. And I never touch other people's scripts because the other people's scripts are always confusing as well for everyone, you know. Oh, is it closed? I'm sorry. Oh, I'm so sorry. You know why that's closed? Because I've been chatting for so fucking long now that I think we've missed the deadline for the giveaway. I am so sorry about that. Let me just open it up again. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Yeah, that's my fault because yeah, we were supposed to finish a long last time ago. I said this stream was going to be an hour, and it's already been an hour, 2 hours and a half. So my fault. I'll just change it to 6, and then we'll be fine. So 6. So I've updated it now. I'll change the other one as well. So this one is now updated, and so it should now be working. Yeah, 28 minutes left. So if you refresh the page, you should see it now. Apologies, everyone, for that. I just didn't notice that it's been already half an hour since it's been off. Yeah, so apologies for that. So I'm, yeah, man, today is the day, isn't it? Today is that day. It's this day. It's today. That's the day we're having today. It's the garbage truck on fire. We're living it. We're all living it. So the stream, the competition should be on now again. Apologies for that. It's all back again. If you just refresh the stream, you should be seeing it. Let's see here. So, and also the other one as well for the Nuke course as well. Yeah, so don't be worried. Someone in this chat was like, I can't remember who it was anymore, was saying like, oh, it should have been every week or should be more of them or something like that. I'll take that into consideration. I really wish it was more, so I'll try to see if I can get that to work. I hope so. I understand that waiting 2 weeks now would be too much, and becomes really hard to follow because you're only watching little bits and pieces and bits and bobs. So I understand that's a bit hard to follow. Okay, so that's the giveaway for the Nuke license. Let's just run it. People had the time now to sign up, I think, I hope, because it was closed, but now it's open again. So I'll give more time for people to sign up for the Nuke Indie license. The course, though, I will... So I'll do that. Let's do this one first. So since the other one is more important than my new course, you know, I've been getting an error ever since I signed up for the course. Oh, I'm sorry for that, saying that. Like, so 3D Chef, just contact me on Discord. I'm sure I can help you with any error you might be having. So please contact me on Discord. I'll try to my best to answer you as soon as I can. So let's find out who's the winner for the new course. Let's see here. So I'm gonna just roll the dice now. Okay, so winner of the new course. And remember, if you don't win it, don't worry, you can still buy it. Okay, so winner of the Nuke course is... Okay, so the name, let's see here. Battle, okay. Okay, so winner of the new course is Gaston Battle. I think that's how I say. So Gaston Battle. I don't know if I would say it's Gaston Battle. Sounds like a very French name. Incredibly French name. Yeah. Matthias says, I have paid the course, but I don't have access to Discord, the server with the paid course. So, Matthias, you don't have the email with the Discord link? If that's the case, Matthias, if you don't have the link, then maybe it's on your spam. If you still don't have it, and if it's still on your spam, please contact me on email or on social media, on Twitter or LinkedIn, and I'll try to help you. But do please check your spam. Maybe the link is there. Sometimes people get it in the spam. So Gaston, congratulations. You've won the Nuke course. So I'll be in contact with you. Are you already a student of mine? If you're already a student of mine, I will give you the other course. That's fine. Direct D2 says, your course is awesome and just as important as the license. I don't understand it, you. Thanks so much for saying that, Directo. No, I don't know. Like I just feel the Foundry license. That's a big thing, you know. Like that's a big thing. Like that's not like the new course. The new course is just the new course. You know, it's not. You know, like I feel like it's a very important thing. Now, for all those of you that didn't win the course, don't forget that my course is 70% off. So that's the link. That's the QR code. If you're interested on any of my courses, it is still 70% off. You know, people have been asking me to keep the discount, and I've been obliging to everyone. So you can still buy it 70% off, either the new course or the workshops, which are still being done. But that's the discount we have so far. So if you didn't win the course, don't worry. You can come back next week. Next week we'll have the giveaway again. And Gaston, you're a student. Okay, if you're a student already, I can give you the workshops. Would that be fine for you? But if you have the workshops already, then I can give you the course for the one-set supervision. So with that in mind, if he's already a student of mine, I'm gonna roll the dice again so that we can get another person to win this course. So I'll just do that. Because I feel like that's only fair. I want someone that doesn't have the course to win as well. So let's just do that. So the winner of the second Nuke course is... Okay, so let's see here. What is the number? Okay, so it would be the number would be there. Now, I don't have a name for this. So you need to be aware that I don't have a name, so I don't know the name of this person. So sorry. So the winner is Kai 10. I guess that's how you pronounce it. Kai 10. That would be the winner of the new course. So, of course, Gaston will get the workshops. So Gaston, just contact me and I'll update your login so that you can get the workshops. So just don't forget to message me on Discord, on our private Discord, and I can just update your login credentials. Okay, so the winner is Kai 10. I don't know if they're here. Let me see if they're here. They can either be on Discord, on YouTube or on Twitch. Matthias says, like the old course put together is the new cheaper course. I'm not sure what you mean. So is Kai 10 here? Maybe not. I don't see them. They're not saying anything on any place. Or they are here. Are they here? Let's see here. I don't have a name, so I'm not entirely sure who this person is. If it's a him, if it's a she, if it's a them, I have no idea who it is. So yeah, they're not saying anything. So maybe they're not here. Maybe I need to roll the dice again. We had these issues before, so I'll roll the dice again and try to get that to work. Okay, so since they weren't here, so the winner of the second Nuke course is okay, so maybe they are here. Let's see. Okay, so I have a Pablo PPF. Is Pablo PPF here? Nub says, once again, you could even save some work by bringing other people to break down their own scripts. You can run the show, they can provide expertise, and everyone will learn more. Nub, I think that's a wonderful idea, but keep in mind that if it's production shots like the ones I'm showing, you need permission from the client. And so either you get permission from the client, which could be quite difficult. I found it quite difficult over the years. Or you need to use your own scripts that are personal. And then what are you really learning? Because then you're not using real production stuff. I feel that you need to learn from production because that's the one that has the time constraint. And time constraints is the most difficult thing to learn. Because if people have infinite amount of time, then they'll do a perfect script. But if you only have a week or an hour or 3 hours, then you will do the script that is best for the 3 hours you had. So I prefer to do production scripts, deconstructing, because they will show you mistakes, problems, and errors. I was looking at the Bjorn scripts and I already found certain things that I thought we could have done better. But with the time constraints that we had at the time, we couldn't have done them better. So yeah, I think that's the way I feel that you should deconstruct stuff on these streams, because it should be production assets, production renders, production scripts, so that they have the weight of production bearing on them and also the problems of production. I think that's what I want to really showcase, Cool, Pablo is here. So Pablo, congratulations, you've won the new course. Now, if you're already a student of mine, I'll give you the workshop. I'm not going to roll the dice again. It's been the third time. So, okay. In the meantime, let's move on to the Nuke Indie license. And so the Nuke Indie license, which is the real prize of the day, let's go and do that. Terry says, that's the one that made money. What do you mean? It's the one that made money. Congratulations, but yes. Okay, so let's see who won the Nuke Indie. Thank you so much. No problem, Pablo. I'll contact you. Okay, so we have 100 people potentially to win the Nuke license. Let's see, the Nuke Indie license, not the Nuke license. Okay, so let's draw the winner here for the Nuke license. Oh, the script. Yeah. Well, Okay, so winner for the Nuke license, the Nuke Indie license. Let's write it here. So hopefully they're here. The winner of the Nuke Indie is okay. Okay, so I think that's the name. Okay, so I have a Raymond. I have a Raymond. No, that's the person that won the Nuke Indie. Are they here? Raymond. No. Raymond. No. Raymond. No. No. Someone is saying no, they're not here. Congratulations, Raymond. Let's see if they're in Twitch or they are in YouTube. That's me. Okay, cool. Well, Raymond, you've won the Nuke Indie. Congratulations. So, do you want the license? Do you need the license? Let me know. So, this is a Nuke Indie license. Foundry, I will give Foundry your contact, which I have here. I have your email here. And I will let them know, and they will be contacting you with the license. Okay, so yeah, congratulations. That's it. That's it for today. Again, I can't thank everyone enough for the amazing support and amazing words that everyone wrote on the chat. Thank you so much for understanding. Apologize if this stream was a bit all over the place. We started by having a huge discussion about AI. That took a big time. Then I opened the script, explained a bit how the process was done, got a bit stuck with the cleanup in the roto scripts because I didn't do them personally. I only did sections of it. I will focus my attention into the script that I did, which was the main compositing script with all the pieces together. And I will try my best to bring Bjorn on the next stream. I will try to convince him. If not, I will at least get some notes from him to see what was going on these scripts so that I can get a more proper understanding of everything. So thank you so much. Thank you so much for all your fantastic words of advice. You gave me like almost moisty eyes while I was talking to everyone. So, and thank you so much again for the Foundry for supporting the stream. It's really, really very kind of the Foundry to give the Nuke Indie and to support financially these streams. I can't thank them enough. We'll be back next week on Thursday with the showreel reviews. Remember the showreel reviews, as usual, they are only a couple of them left until the end of the year. So these are the showreel reviews left until the end of the year. We have basically the 3rd of October, 31st of October, 14th of November, and we have the 28th of November. If you want to sign up to this, there is a booking system on the... if you go to any showreel review video, there is the booking system link on the description of the video. There's also the link to upload the showreel. So you can book yourself a slot. We still have slots free. And as a matter of fact, I think... Let me just double check. I'll look at the slots here real quick before we go. Let's see here. So next week we still have... Next week is taken already. But then the next time we do it, it's also taken. Sorry about that. So we still have a slot on the 14th of November, free. And we still have a slot on the 28th of November as well. So there's still 2 slots for showreels on the 14th and on the 28th. Because I'm not going to the View conference, most likely, because that's why there's a break between the 3rd and the 31st. Because there should have been a stream on the 17th, but I thought I was going to go to the View conference. I'm not. And so I might bring that back, that date. Because then maybe I'll do it on the 17th as well, so that there isn't any break there. Because since I'm here, I might as well do it. So those are the next streams. And yeah, I can't thank everyone enough. You know, like thank you so much for all the support. And there'll be a lot more streams and a lot more. So next week we'll have the showreel. Then 2 weeks from there, we'll have the continuation of this deconstruction. And yeah, thank you so much everyone on Twitch and everyone on YouTube as well. I'll see you all later. See you later. Have a wonderful weekend. Have a great time. Rest and relax. Play games. Watch movies. Read books. Go to museums. Eat good food. Go for it. Eat good food. Don't forget. Eat good food. Green recipes for all. Well, thank you so much for everyone.